Hello everyone, I am Satch191 and this is Vanilla Railworld for Beginners in Factorio version 0.17. This is the first episode and the first series on my channel. I'm really excited to get at it and I really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking it out. Like I said, this is going to be an unmodded campaign, start to finish, where we try to complete the Railworld setting of the game, which I'll explain a little bit more about in a minute. And it's also going to be kind of beginner friendly, so it's not going to be a tutorial per se, but it is going to be helpful for those who are just starting out in the game or who haven't played yet. So hopefully it is fun and entertaining for everybody. If you have any questions at all about what I'm doing or would like to just talk about anything you see on screen or about me, then please write in and we'll have a chat. I'm importing a seed from another game that I've played. This is not the first time that I've tried to record this video, but I've had numerous technical problems trying to do it. So when I first started recording it, this is the seed that I got. It was completely random at the time. This doesn't come from anywhere else. And I really liked it. I thought it was kind of an exciting map, so I am going to be plugging this in. So I just want to be forthright about that. Other than that, it is completely random. The railroad setting here says the resource patches are large and spread far apart to encourage train systems. Fighters won't create any new bases or re-expand into cleared territory. So these are actually two kind of the most important elements of the game to me in terms of modifying the gameplay experience. I love train systems. I love having to deal with that, having to make train networks and schedule them and make depots and whatnot. So I love that. And biters are my least favorite part of the game. So the fact that this kind of reduces their impact a little bit makes me happy as well. So this is the perfect setting for me. And also I don't see a whole lot of people on YouTube doing the railworld setting. So I figured it'd be a good opportunity. As you can see, when I click that, the sliders move around a little bit. The frequency of the resource patches goes down and the size goes up. So pretty much exactly what it said here. The terrain settings are left alone. Of course, you can modify these in your own play if you wish. And then under enemy, it automatically unchecks the enemy expansion tab. So it's not going to allow them to expand into territory that you've already cleared, like it said, which is fantastic. Under the advanced tab, we have technology. I'm going to change research queue availability to always. This is just going to allow me to set up several different things to research at once. And as soon as one is complete, it'll automatically move on to the next one. So it's kind of a small quality of life improvement that I really like. So let me show you the string before we hop in. I thought it was really unique and I liked it, so I'm kind of interested to do it again. So that is why that's why I'm adamant about trying to read the string. Anyway, I love the little lakes that we have here. I think it's really cool. It's a cool design. It's kind of a good little bit of area to start in as well. The cliffs are going to be a little bit of a nuisance, but I will try to deal with them. I'm really excited to play this one. So let's just get started. First, the game gives us a little tooltip to read. I guess technically it's not a tooltip, but this is the Factorio free play. Your task is to launch a rocket silo into space. Do this by constructing a rocket silo and launching a rocket. You will need to research advanced technologies in order to unlock the rocket silo. Start small, work your way up with automation, and don't forget to protect yourself from the natives. So then, that's the biters that I was mentioning. These little bug-like creatures, they consume the pollution that you create, and I guess they have evolved to the point where they can consume your pollution and clone themselves from it. It's kind of weird when you think about it, but it works in the context of the game. So we're going to go with it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hack down some of these rocks for several reasons. One, because I need the resource. Two, because in their way. And three, kind of most importantly, is because if you look at the map here, that stone patch is just too far for me to walk. It is just a bridge too far. In fact, a lot of the time these early maps put the resources, I say early maps, like the starting zone in these maps, put the resource patches right up next to each other. So close sometimes that it becomes kind of a nuisance. It becomes kind of a nuisance because whenever you're mining one, you'll accidentally pick up some of the one next to it. So it's good in regard that they're spread out like they are up here. But this stone one is just too far. And the only thing that you use stone for in the early game anyway is to make these burner mining drills, and I'm not going to be making a whole ton of them. So like I said, I'm just going to hack down some of the nearby stones to satisfy my stone requirement. Or I should say the rocks to satisfy my stone requirement. Just so I don't have to walk back and forth. I'm trying to minimize the amount of walking I have to do. I am going to do a lot of walking in this game. And I am going to do a lot of handcrafting in this game. I know some people are better about that than I am. But I don't mind just queuing up a whole bunch of things to handcraft while my dude's walking around. So it doesn't bother me too much. So the first thing that we're doing here is we have the burner mining drill set up. That I have fed with coal, and I have placed on top of an iron patch. And I have a furnace directly in front of its little mouth there. So the iron ore goes directly into the furnace, and I can click on the furnace to retrieve its product. So, which in this case is going to be iron plates, smelted iron plates. So I can set up another one of these to speed the process. Right click to deposit half of whatever's on your cursor, and left click to deposit the full amount or whatever's left. I need just enough to make one more of these, and I'll go get some coal. There we are. So while those are working, I'm going to come down to this coal patch, kind of southwest of me, and I will show you my next trick. Something that's kind of annoying about the early game here is that there is no light. It's very dark. I gotta grab one piece. There we go. It's very dark. I'm going to be researching lamps as soon as possible. Especially because, you know, on account of being a YouTube video and everything, this is just bad. So please pardon the initial darkness, but it will get better. Anyway, let me explain this before I walk away. The two burner mining drills, I have them pointing at each other in kind of a perpetual duel here, and the output of one is going to become the input of the other, and vice versa. So once you set this up and get them running, so long as there is still a resource underneath them, this will just continue running ad nauseum. So I can use that as storage, because both of them will hold a good little bit of coal kind of in their internal storage. So I can run back up here, and when I go back there, they will have stored up a good little bit of coal for me. So this early part is going to be me just kind of bouncing back and forth, be babysitting my machines, and just keeping them well fed, mostly on coal. So I need more iron to create more burning drills. Of course, I need coal to fuel those burning drills. So we just kind of go back and forth. The process is somewhat exponential. I don't think it's truly exponential, but the more you build, the faster you can build. The faster you can build, the faster you can build. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So now we've got 4 of these. I'm going to set them up in a circular pattern. And I'm going to do this more. I'm actually going to double this and plop it here. Because my goal is to have 8 burner mining drills set up. 8 on coal, 8 on iron, and 3 or maybe 4 on copper. But I don't want to build any more of that. Reason being, I want to 3, 4, 1, 2, yeah. Reason being, you only use these in the early game. I get rid of them pretty fast and move on to something else. So the more I create, essentially the more I waste. So, oops. There we go. So I don't want to create, I want to create as few as possible because I don't want to waste them. You can't use them for anything else. Unfortunately, you can't like break things down into their kind of constituent components in this game. So yeah, just that. I am at 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, I am. I'm at 6. And I may as well just go ahead and do the rest of them. 1, 2. I have 2 already. 1, 2, 1. I can create one more of those in a second. Oh, more stone. Of course, I'm choked on stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 6. 2 more of those. 2 more of those. Fill them with coal. Take half out of you, half into you. There we go. Yes, I need stone. I ran out just at the wrong time. Is there another rock nearby? Because I really don't want to have to go up and down and up and down. There we go. There's a couple over here. So I will crack open these rocks, get the stone, and that should be enough. And there's some more up there too. And that should be enough to get me through kind of the early portion of the game. So the goal for the early portion here, for this video at least, is going to be, I want to get my first thing researched. So I'm going to set up all of my mining operations, my initial infrastructure. I'm going to set up electricity, and I'm going to begin my research. And research is kind of the main prompt for the gameplay loop in this game. That is kind of your only real requirement, is that to keep moving forward in the game, you have to do research. And then to do research, you have to build a factory. So that is the way that the game propels you forward. That, and of course, the ever-present threat of the biters. But those you can handle and just kind of be done with. Do I have? Yes, I do. One more. So here we go. I finish off this loop. There we go. So now they're all pointing at each other, and this will create a satisfying amount of coal. In fact, I've already got 135 just from that. And that should be enough to kind of fund all of my endeavors up here. Let's see. A little scant, but it'll be okay. Alright, so now I got that working. I've got plenty of stone to get started. I'm going to go ahead and hop down my 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, 4, and then... Yeah, I'm not going to do stone at all. Okay. So now I will build my copper infrastructure. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys should have built up a good little bit of coal at the moment, and then I will feed that, and we will be off to the races. Like I say, first I need the iron to create the burner mining drills themselves. Now I need the burner mining drills to harvest the copper, and I need the copper to start on electricity. So you can kind of already get a good picture of the game. If you haven't played already, you can already kind of see, how the game is supposed to work, how the whole thing kind of operates. I've got nothing to do while these are doing their startup, so I'm going to hack down some trees. It should be long enough to get started. Yeah, there we go, 24 copper plates, which is good. That should give me enough time. I'll refuel everything and then get started on my next project. Only 89. That's not a ton. I really want more than that, but it'll be okay. Go ahead and queue up automation and lamps, logistics, chips. That. Okay, so I guess I should explain this. These are the different types of researches, and this is the queue that I was unlocking earlier. Researches, I don't know if you can say researches, if that's a thing, but that's what I'm going to call it. So the first one here is automation. That's going to allow you to make assembling machines, which is going to take several different inputs and create an output while you are off elsewhere. So that's kind of the name of the game, is automation here. And so the very first thing, fittingly, is automation that we research. And then I want to get lamps because, or they're calling it optics, but the product here is lamps, so that way we can see. And then other logistics things that are just going to make my life easier. Better belts and different types of belts and different types of inserters, which we haven't got to yet, but you'll see inserters momentarily. To collect. All right, one more swipe of the copper plates and then I'll get started. I need 2 of these. I need 2, 3, 4 of those. I need 2 of those. I need 2 of these, 2 of those, 2 of those, some of those. I'm going to grab that while I'm doing it. Yes, I need just a little bit more resources. See what I mean? I just queue up a whole bunch of stuff that I know I'm going to need, and then walk away and let it just work while I'm doing it. I mean, I got to be walking around anyway, so to me, it's not that bothersome. Collect a bunch of that. Okay, I can go create 10 of those. I'm missing copper for that. Yes, I am. 1, 2, 3 of those as well. That's maybe a little wasteful, but I really want, yeah, I want to get a head start on this. 1 radar and then 10 science packs. Yeah, that should be, oh, 1 more thing. And then 2 of these inserters. Okay, I guess while I'm walking, I can explain. These first inserters are called burner inserters, and they consume coal to do their job. These next one are electric, kind of your primary inserter, and they use electricity. So to start with, we're going to use coal to make the electricity producing our steam engine setup. And then after that, I'll be able to use electricity to use the regular inserters. So let's set up a hotbar. This is a new feature in this version of the game, is that you have several different hotbars, and all of these hotbars are pointers to items in your inventory. So if I don't have an item in my inventory, for instance, these 3 that I have down here, I'm empty on. They're kind of grayed out, but I can still point to them, and I can also put ghost images down, so I can kind of pre-plan, even though I don't have anything in my inventory. I can kind of plan out where it'll be when I do. So it's super handy. Really appreciate the devs putting that in there. That is huge quality of life improvement in my eyes. So a couple of those. So now I'm just going to set up my hotbars so that way each one of these numbers is a different thing that I use all at the same time. So one of them will be, like in this case, this would be my my power plant. This would be my steam engine setup. And then I'll do one for oil, for instance, and then I'll do one for setting up trains, and then I'll do one for whatever else. So you can easily switch between them. There are hotkeys, I haven't learned them yet, but you can easily switch between them, and everything that you need is right here instead of having to go into your main inventory and click around, which, as you can imagine, this gets cluttered and just kind of ugly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces apart is how I like it. That's right, pipes. I knew there was something else I was forgetting. There we go. 420. Let's put down the pipes. Let's do... This is the only thing I really remember from my previous playthrough, was that this is one spot too close to this, and I can't fit a belt right here, and I really want my plant to be right here. So if you're wondering why I put that pipe there, that's why. It's because I happen to know that there's going to be a belt right here for later. Again, I have played just this first episode, but I have not played any more than that in this particular playthrough. So, alright, there we go. And then I'll set up the electricity here. And I'll take the time to explain this too while things are working inside the factory. How am I doing on time? Okay, cool. So these pumps, they run on magic. They just pump water out of the thing just by sheer force of will. You don't have to put coal or electricity or anything like that. You don't have to fuel them in any way. They just work. It's fantastic. You put they pump water, which is going to go through this pipe and into this machine, which is a boiler. You can see the little icon here. It is accepting water and will be accepting coal from this fella, which is why it's giving me this flashing thing here. Anyway, once it has the coal and the water, it will produce steam, this little air pocket here. And the steam is going to power these 2 steam engines. So the steam is going to turn the turbine here, and the turbine is going to create electricity, which is going to flow through these wires and into my power-hungry machinery. So I'll go ahead and walk it back while I'm doing this. And that is that. That's how the initial electricity in this game works, typically. That's at least the way I do it. Alright, so all of these guys are hungry. So, but at this point, I've been kind of talking and walking away for a while now, so I should have plenty of coal in here. I'm going to get a couple hundred. Yeah, 400. Yeah. So now we're off to the races in terms of this. It starts to really pick up speed here in a minute. doing those. Grab that. Grab some more bullets. I don't really know how many of those I'm going to need in this playthrough. Some maps, they're a little closer than others, and the binders I'm talking about. And just the way you have to set up your factory, the pollution requirements are just different. Or it's just different every playthrough is the point. Sometimes I get attacked early, sometimes I don't. So I may as well just go ahead and get that set up. I think I've created everything I really need to. The next thing I'm going to work on is some electric mining. In fact, I can go ahead and pre-create a couple electric mining drills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go ahead and create some repair packs too. Why not? All right. Well, let me just let me wrap this one up. I'm going to do that by setting up a couple of, oh my lord, a couple of misplaced, there we are. Labs, these are your labs. Well, you'll see. I'm just going to set it up and then I'll talk about it. Let me get my toolbar set up kind of the way I like it, or at least the way I remember liking it. Something like that, at least to start with. It's okay. Yeah, that'd be alright. Alright. Set you up, set you up. Oh, boxes. Yeah. I'm going to switch to steel boxes pretty quick, but right now I have these ones. So put those in there. And... oh goodness. I didn't put any coal in the thing. At the time, I didn't have any in my inventory, but then when I went to go pick it up, I didn't. There we go. Okay, so you see these guys, they take the coal out of the box and they feed themselves first so that they can operate, and then they put it into the steam engine, and then the process is off to it goes. Follow power lines over here, and then there we go. That's what I like to see. Power lines are powering this operation. I put the science packs in the box, and then the inserters automatically take them out of the box and put them in the research labs. And because I set up research earlier in the game, in the little research queue, it is already going. So, this is where we are for the first episode. Everything is... there we go. Yep. Everything is set up, everything is working, everything is how I like it to begin with. I don't have any stone. Oh, there it was. We got the chime telling me that we're done with the first one. I don't have any stone because I didn't feel like walking all this way every single time. But at the very beginning of the next episode, I will take some of these miner drills and some belts, which I should be crafting too. And we will get that set up. And let's take a good look at what we got. There we are. That's the beginning of our factory. It's always a little bit of a rocky start. Starting out, a lot of running around, a lot of just kind of babysitting things. It's a little bit boring. If you haven't played before, maybe it's a little bit more fun. But having to do this over and over again, it can get a little tedious. But things definitely do pick up here momentarily. So I appreciate you guys hanging out, stopping by, keeping me company. I think this is going to be a fun playthrough. I'm really looking forward to it. And like I say, I really appreciate you guys being here. So thanks a bunch, and we'll see you in the next episode. Later.